Hi, I'm Saida Garrett, co-writer of Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror, and you're listening to Rainbow Country with Mr. Mark Tara.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are those of the producers and or the persons appearing on the program.
Today on Rainbow Country, my TIFF 2020 coverage continues with the new Canadian short film, The Archivists, plus a TIFF 2019 flashback with one of the TIFF short film programmers, Jason Anderson, plus Rainbow Country contributor, business person and community activist, Louis Molnar, with LGBT news you can use. And in hour 2, music from LGBT recording artists, independent recording artists, plus voices that you know and love in classic disco, classic 80s, classic house. Stay tuned for Gay Talk Radio right here on Rainbow Country.
Hi, this is Carol Pope.
Hi, I'm Garrett Conley, author of Boy Erased, a memoir.
Hi, I'm Lorraine Segato.
Hi, I'm Gord Depp with the Spoons. You're listening to Rainbow Country with Mark Tara.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Rainbow Country. As I like to call it, a little gay radio show working to give voice to the LGBT community and beyond. As always, I am your tour guide through Rainbow Country, Mark Tara. By the way, Rainbow Country originates from CIUT FM in Toronto, the sound of your city. And now proudly in syndication on Bombshell Radio, Love Your Indie, a 24/7 streaming outlet. And real music, real ideas, real people. CKUW FM, Winnipeg. The Juice, CJUC FM, Whitehorse. Plus, the mighty CKCU FM, Ottawa. The voice of the Haliburton Highlands, Canoe FM, Haliburton, Ontario's cottage country. And the newest station to carry Rainbow Country, located in Saskatchewan, CFCR FM in Saskatoon. So welcome on board, Saskatoon. It's nice to have you. And a little heads up, next week I'm going to have another edition. So whether you're listening in the Yukon, the prairies, Ontario's cottage country, Southern Ontario, even down to Buffalo, New York, or you're streaming online, it is because of you, listening, downloading, streaming, that has taken this little gay program and made it into a syndicated radio show and a #1 LGBT podcast. And last week, Rainbow Country was #4 on Podomatic's Gay and Lesbian chart. So today, my TIFF 2020 coverage continues with the new Canadian short film, The Archivists. I'll be joined by the director, Igor, and actor, Noah Reid, to find out all about the new Canadian short film, The Archivists. Plus, a flashback to TIFF 2019, where I caught up with one of the programmers for the TIFF short film program, Jason Anderson, as well as a taste of what the Toronto International Film Festival is like during normal times. And in hour 2, music from LGBT recording artists, independent recording artists, plus voices that you know and love in classic disco, classic 80s, classic house. But up first, Rainbow Country contributor, business person, and community activist, Louis Molnar, with LGBT news you can use.
This is your Rainbow Country Global News Brief, a breakdown of LGBT plus headlines from around the world. New guidance from the Department for Education in England states teachers should not tell children that they might be a different gender based on their personality or the clothes they want to wear. The guidance recently published notes teachers in English must not, quote, reinforce harmful stereotypes, and resources used to discuss topics involving gender and biological sex should be age-appropriate and evidence-based, noting gender and biological sex can be complex and sensitive matters to negotiate. It follows the government's decision to drop plans to allow people to officially change gender without a medical diagnosis, a move that was criticized by LGBT charities. The government will instead cut the cost of applying for a gender recognition certificate. Viral pictures and videos captured a female army officer from Ghana whose identity has been revealed as Staff Sergeant Vida Shawosu, allegedly tying the knot with her lesbian partner, big smiles on both of their faces. In response, however, Rachel Appo, a Deputy Minister of Gender and Children Protection, has added her voice to calls for the hierarchy of the Ghana Armed Forces to retaliate against the female soldier who allegedly married her lesbian partner in military uniform. As a result, reports say that Sergeant Owusu has been detained and is facing court-martial. The GAF are officially yet to comment on the issue, which has been trending on social media for some time. Homosexual relationships are not recognized in Ghana, have been illegal since the 1860s, and consenting partners face 3 years imprisonment if convicted. California Governor Gavin Newsom in the U.S. has just signed into law a package of measures intended to strengthen protections for LGBTQ people, including one that now requires the state's correctional system to house transgender, gender nonconforming, and intersex people by their gender identity, which previously housed people based on biological sex. The new law, SB 132, requires California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation to interview and record the inmate's self-reported gender identity. I'm Louis Molnar for Rainbow Country, LGBT plus community news and views from around the world featuring politics and stories that touch our lives.
Bill 7, to ban discrimination in employment, government services, and housing, based on a person's sexual orientation, was up for a vote at Queen's Park. Most NDP and Liberal MPPs supported the bill, but without some progressive conservative legislators' backing, a divisive split could rack the province. 4 PCs decided to break party ranks to vote with their conscience and support Bill 7. Cabinet Minister and MPP Dennis Timbrell did it to show solidarity for his beloved brother, the well-known drag queen Rusty Ryan. And for me, a gay politician who was not yet out, I had to take a stand. We were known as the Gang of Four. I'm former Cabinet Minister and MPP Phil Gillies. The date, December 2nd, 1986, when LGBT rights came to Ontario.
Hi, this is Michael Anthony Alago, music executive, photographer, author, and you are listening to Rainbow Country with Mark Tara.
Up next, a flashback to TIFF 2019, where I caught up with one of the programmers for the TIFF short films programs called Shortcuts. The programmer, Jason Anderson.
Good evening, everyone. How are you? Whoa! You guys are excited, aren't you? Hello, Toronto!
This is a very exciting night for us.
I'm really freaking excited to be here tonight.
What a great audience.
I'm so excited to be here. It's such a great honor.
I'm so honored to be able to show my film to this august crowd.
What's really fun is people who love film, and you are all that. And we're very proud and happy to be here with all of you.
We should not be afraid to tell stories because we are afraid that people will judge.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity and a platform to be able to showcase our work as female filmmakers.
This is for my parents who couldn't come, so thank you. I'm going to prove it to them. I did it!
I've just realised what TIFF actually stands for. Toronto is fucking fantastic.
This is the story of our city, and we're a very proud city, and I want the world to see it.
Jason Anderson, hi.
Hi, good to see you.
You are one of the programmers for Shortcuts.
I am.
Talk to me about the various, because there's more than one program.
Yes.
There are multiple programs.
Yes. So we have 8 programs with 55 films. Covered of those 8 programs, we have films from, I think, 32 countries represented. And we do animation, we do documentary, we do live action narrative, and we have just like this huge array, huge diversity of films, filmmakers, which is like what we love to do.
Why the different programs? Talk me through that.
I mean, just for Shortcuts?
Yeah.
Oh, I just think that, certainly we kind of like to, one thing I like to think about for Shortcuts is we're kind of like the entire festival distilled into this very, very concentrated, intense kind of packages. And so we do try to put a bit of everything into every one of those programs. So audiences are seeing like a wide array of stuff from Canada and across the world. They're seeing comedies, they're seeing dramas, they're seeing animation, they're seeing just a huge sort of abundance of this stuff, and a lot of it by brand new filmmakers who haven't been to the festival before. So it's kind of a place for discovery, but also just like new everything, like new animation techniques, new countries people haven't seen before, new places, new voices, new perspectives. So it's really a kind of, again, this sort of like distilled, perfect, not perfect, but certainly we try to make every moment count.
Right.
Yeah.
And how long have you been programming Shortcuts?
So I've been on the Shortcuts team since 2015, which is the year after TIFF expanded Shorts to be an international as well as Canadian showcase. So it's been amazing seeing it grow, because I think it was kind of like off in the sort of corner of the festival for a long time, and it was great for sort of launching Canadian talent. But now it's really, we have like full houses, and people are very excited to see, because it really is like a lot of people, like we had with Canadians, like we were playing directors who are coming back to the festival with first features, and we're kind of the people who were introducing a lot of these filmmakers to TIFF audiences.
When you're programming a short, and these are short films, are there short documentaries as well?
Oh yes, I think there's 6 in the program this year.
Okay.
So we do, and we have like 6 documentaries, 9 animation. Actually, one of the documentaries is an animated documentary. So we take everything up to about 48 minutes.
What is it that you're looking for when you're looking to program a short? What is it? Do you have specifics in mind?
We certainly want to have something fresh, something bold, something exciting. It doesn't have to reinvent the wheel every time, although sometimes it's really great when you get a new kind of wheel. But certainly we want stuff that feels like as great and as exciting as a feature, And sometimes we get films that are somehow 9 minutes long and can pretty much be a feature. Like, you just get so much richness, so much complexity. I mean, they really are as strong as anything else you're going to see at the festival. This is not, they may be young filmmakers a lot of the time, but they're people who have found their voices and found their feet and are doing incredible things already. So it's really something where we feel like it's, just as exciting and bold as anything else you're going to see at the festival.
Walk me through the process. When you're looking to program a short, are you the one that says yes or no, this is in?
Well, it's great. And the team goes through about 4,500 submissions just for shorts every year. So it's an enormous volume. So we have a team of pre-screeners. We have myself and my co-programmer, Robin Citizen, and we go through a lot of work. And I think part of the challenge is that we have a lot of very strong work. So it's really can only play a fraction of all these great films that are out there, because there's an abundance of amazing filmmakers. But so we're just looking for stuff that's going to get some kind of reaction from us, And there's plenty of films that we thought were hilarious, and there's films that we thought were really intense, and there's ones that I just sobbed through, like just completely wiped me out. And those are always sort of like good signs when you get a kind of visceral reaction to a film.
Joseph Amante.
Oh yeah.
Flood.
Yes.
A gay filmmaker from Toronto.
Yep.
I've seen the short.
Oh, terrific.
Great short.
Yep.
Love the ending.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that particular short, and what was it about that short that really stood out to you guys to say, yes, let's have it in 2019?
Well, he's a great example. I mean, Joseph's, one of these filmmakers in Toronto and in Canada that we're very excited about. I mean, he's totally arriving. I think he's sort of one of those filmmakers, like a lot of them are just going to be on people's lips and on my minds, and especially gets further into features. And like he's kind of talent's all there already. It's plain to see. And I think certainly he's when you're talking about, when we see a lot of stories about LGBTQ youth, and some of them end up being the same kinds of stories. Sometimes they're very good, but more familiar. And Flood is a great example of something where it's like, wow, I haven't seen this kind of religion. I haven't seen this sort of experience. Started thinking about, especially when you're looking at, sort of dynamics within family, because Flood is, primarily about the relationship between, queer teen and younger sister and the family dynamic and things that are going on in, his sexual life and how that maybe is the sort of trying to reconcile that with other parts of his life. And that's, again, like a really incredible part of that experience that we don't, I haven't seen that story before, and he's starting to see that story presented with a kind of style and energy and great performances and a very like kind of quintessentially sort of Toronto feel for the piece too. So yeah, it's the one we're really excited about.
So basically, a unique take on a familiar coming of age story, that sort of thing. Another short animated. Thomas?
Oh, like Tumas Beneath the Valley of the Wild Wolves.
A long title.
I love it.
I wanted you to say it.
Yeah.
What stood out about that particular short?
We have some really wild and some sort of like... We have a couple of films that are almost have a sort of pansexual sensibility where it's a really kind of very open, very anything goes, and this is certainly one where you have a really amazing attitude towards all kinds of things that we haven't seen before, especially in a really like animation like this. And this was a filmmaker who's had some great shorts before, and I can't remember if she's Croatian, born in Estonia, or vice versa, but the film comes to us via Croatia and Estonia and France, and this was one I was really looking forward to seeing, and when I did, I'm like, this is hilarious, because it is like really kind of raunchy and risque, and it's sort of an homage to sort of a lot of sexploitation movies, there's a Russ Meyer joke in the title of the film, but and it's sort of about a wolf guy who's an upstanding family man who becomes a gigolo to support his family, but it's just like, it's so like fun and sex positive in all kinds of surprising ways, and very, very funny. So I think this is something that was an easy one for us. As soon as we saw it, it's like, wow, it's an animator and a filmmaker I've always really liked already and hadn't had a chance to play, but she's just like kicked it up a few notches, and it's one of those things that also we feel like, oh yeah, audiences will love this.
Most challenging aspect about being a programmer at TIFF?
Certainly letting down filmmakers, just disappointing filmmakers especially when it's film that you really love and you like, and and you admire, and to sort of be able to say, well, and there's certainly filmmakers who, and I think because also one thing I really love about working in shorts is that you get to meet so many young filmmakers who are energetic and talented and fun and really open, that they haven't really been, like some people get crushed by the industry. They're not there yet. They really are very open, and you really get very attached to these people. So when when you come back, when you see another film by a filmmaker you already have this great relationship with, and they're not quite there. It's a bit off the mark, and you have to go back to them and say, "Oh, sorry, we love you, but not this film." And so it's always great when that filmmaker then does another film, and you're like, "Oh no, wait, we're back." So that sort of thing happens all the time. But certainly because, I think because of the nature of it, you do get, all the shorts programs I know, you just get very attached. There's a lot of warmth, because it's really at a stage in people's careers where there isn't a lot of money and ego and stuff that kind of maybe gets sort of in the way of those sort of dynamics when you get deeper into your careers.
Last question.
Yep.
Favorite aspect about being a programmer at TIFF?
It's like just to be in a room, and it's been so gratifying, especially every year we're getting more people out for the shorts programs. We're filling up the houses, and to be able to sort of, look at all these filmmakers who come from all over the world. We've got filmmakers from Nepal. We got filmmakers from Argentina and Brazil. We've got a filmmaker from Egypt. We've got all these people coming from all over, and to be able to sort of, host them and give them one of those amazing Toronto audiences of people who are just really, really up for seeing something special, for seeing something different, and to have those two components come together, like the talent and the audience, is just like that's the most gratifying thing for sure.
Jason Anderson, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
My name is Charles Officer, and I'm the writer and director of Invisible Essence, The Little Prince. You're listening to Rainbow Country with Mark Tara.
Coming up next, my TIFF 2020 coverage continues with the director, Igor, and actor Noah Reid from the new Canadian short film, The Archivists. Set in a dystopian future, a trio of musicians discover a degraded vinyl record, an attempt to reimagine one of its songs. Noah Reid, hi, how are you?
Hey, I'm well. How are you doing?
I am well. Igor, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm
Thanks
well.
for inviting us.
You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. Igor, I'm not going to try to attempt to say your last name, but please do. Say it the correct way.
It's Drljaca, but like if I was to translate it, it would actually be Tillerson. So I would be Igor Tillerson.
Tillerson, okay.
The irony, I'm not proud of that moment, but when I discovered that, but yeah, apparently that's what my name would be in English.
So say one more time in
Drljaca.
What? Say it again?
Drljaca.
Ah, you roll your tongue so well.
I
First of all, I have to say to the two of you, thank you for taking time out to be here, to have your voices, your stories, be heard by the LGBT community and beyond. So thank you so much for that, especially when it comes to Igor, your new short film, The Archivists. Well done. I've seen it.
Thank you.
I have to say, Igor, you are the director. I believe you also wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
The Archivists, what is this short film? What is this film about?
It was an attempt to tell a story that's sort of a dystopian tale, but that sort of gives sort of hope within that environment, that sort of allows the survivors to find new meaning, find new ways of dreaming, find new ways of connecting to this old world. And it's also at the same time a way of me sort of processing what was going on in the world, with like the rise of the far right and Brexit, and the man shall be unnamed. So yeah, it was just like a way of sort of struggling with this idea, but not making a dystopian tale that's without any hope. How creativity in the end sort of saves us all.
And Noah Reid, you co-star in the short alongside Bahai Watson, I believe you say her name, and Maxwell McCabe Locos. What drew you to this project, Noah?
Well, I think when I first read Igor's script, it was such it was an incredibly visual script. A lot of beautiful. The way that he writes really paints a picture that you can sort of envision in your mind. And I felt like the message of that cultural artifacts and things that. The things that we leave behind as artists are going to speak to, past or future generations as we become past generations, and that hopefully, no matter what the outcome of the political world or the landscape or however obviously things like pandemics and wars can really alter the experience of being alive. But there are these little landmarks that we can leave behind through creativity and through art, that are going to be hopefully lasting in some way. I think that's sort of the thing that I keyed into, was like, as a creative person, as a musician as well. I'm like, okay, I'm interested in what I can say about the human experience, how I can leave it behind as a marker in some way for future generations. And I think I really connected to that notion. Also, I'm a big records guy. I love vinyl, so all the little nods to vinyl were kind of fun. And I also love projects that can creatively involve my musical world and my acting world. And I think it's rare that a short film is able to approach almost anything with as much scope as Igor was able to do with his script and with the direction of this short. It just felt like a real world was being created, and so I don't know, I was immediately drawn to the project.
Igor, the Archivists was shot on 16 millimeter. Why did you choose to shoot on film on 16 compared to digitally? Talk to me about that decision first and foremost.
I mean, it was something that I think kind of lent itself to what we wanted to explore, which is sort of this analog world that's left behind. These artifacts are left behind, and film, in this strange way, is on its last legs. It's sort of it's become a hobbyist and a specialization to sort of use it to kind of appropriate images on it, because they don't really have many labs left that process it. So it was, I think, it helped with the texture of the world. It helped with the way we wanted to portray the landscapes, the way we wanted to portray the all the other visual elements. Yeah, the graininess. And it's something that I felt I always wanted to work with film again, and I'd never had the ability or the budget. So this is like one opportunity to try this, because I think we won't have the ability to do this for a very long time. It'll just be probably too expensive for most filmmakers. So
you were obviously able to find a place to process 16 millimeter film, but was that a challenge to find?
No, it's still possible. There's only one place that does it in Canada, a Mel's lab in Montreal. But yeah, that's the only lab that you cannot process in Toronto. So like you have to be sort of flexible with the idea that you cannot see what you're shooting right away. There's this element of like the unknown, because you only get the footage like a week or two later, because we shot everything. And with every other film, or at least every other film I've done over the last decade, you can see what you've shot right away. And in this situation, because there's no dailies, you can't really see anything.
And the difference between the physical difference when you see the screen when it comes to film versus digital, can you talk to me about that? Like, there is a distinct difference, isn't there?
Well, the thing is, there's a DI process and it's digitized. So like we're not actually projecting it on film. It's kind of ironic because of the pandemic that we can't actually show it on a big screen, because it kind of like completely lends itself to a very different feeling when you're watching on a big screen, like the grain structure and the texture, the movement, everything about it. But on a small screen, it still has like this idea of like somehow being aged. There's like an element of age that's appropriated with the emulsion that you use, and I think that also sort of lends itself to using in that particular way. And in terms of what the differences are in working with it, you have to be a lot more strict with your planning. You have to think about shots in a very clear way. There's less room for improvisation because you only have a limited number of minutes that you can film.
Right. I know that in terms of recording music on tape compared to digitally, there's a warmth that comes to recording on tape that I think over the years has been lost when you go digitally.
Mhm.
And I'm just wondering if there's the same when it comes to filming on film compared to digital. So.
Yeah, like that analog quality, that sort of warmth that you find when you listen to a record, or when you see emulsion. I think there is definitely that. I think the imperfections of these sort of older analog processes is what gives them a beauty that you cannot necessarily find with digital, because like everybody's looking for this perfection, right? Everybody's looking for this perfect image,
and everything's so clear and crisp
exactly.
on digital that you want to dirty it up somehow.
Exactly.
To make it look like film.
There's no randomness, right? And I think like chance is like a big factor in how I like to work. So I think introducing that element even on a visual level helped.
So Igor, the Archivists, is this part of a bigger project, or is this something that stands on its own?
The initial idea was something that was a bigger project, and it just was a bit too big. So I tried to figure out a way that I can pull it off without, thinking about this much bigger world, and leave something that could work as a potential for something bigger down the line. But this particular sort of piece within it, like operates on its own. But the initial idea that I started playing with was a longer piece.
And Noah, you are an award-winning actor of stage and screen. You are a musician. You have, 2 recordings out?
Yeah.
Two albums out.
Yeah.
Your current one is Gemini. That's your current record. You sing in the film, in the short film, The Archivists. Was this live off the floor? Were you lip syncing, that sort of thing? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, well, we had a few meetings sort of prior to our shoot, as Igor alluded to. With shooting with 16, you want to make sure you know what you're doing before you roll. And so we met Bahia and Max and I and Igor and the producers and the musical supervisors all sort of met to get the lay of the land musically. And I think we had a couple of rehearsals where we were able to figure out what the sort of arrangements would be, how we would approach the song, making little tweaks to it and understanding how we all sort of fit into it. Obviously, some of the music tracks, the backing tracks sort of were going to be fiddled with after the fact. So we just had a sort of a guide track, and we had little earbuds going. I had, I think, one earbud in and was basically just singing to that. And I think we were close to the end of our last day of shooting when we tackled the song. And I think we got maybe, Igor, I can't remember, maybe 1 or 2 takes of it, but the vocal was live off the floor, and then the rest of the track was sort of filled in post-production. But I don't know, as a stage performer, as a musical performer, I love the pressure of having to get it in a short period of time, and there's something about that just feels right. And I remember very well in that room that was sort of like very dusty, very hot. It was like we were like, okay, let's see what we can get here. But it felt right that, that's what these characters would be. They would be in environments that were, a little bit compromising vocally, maybe even. And so, we had some fun with just trying to, see how it sort of fell off the truck on the day, and had our preparations in order. And I personally, I had never listened to that song before it popped up. It was a Small Town Boy song, and I thought it was really fun to, figure out the thread of that, as the characters are doing in the film, trying to figure out how it relates to, this diary that they've discovered, and working those narrative, picking up what they can get off the record, which is obviously a little distorted, and then, figuring out a way through. So I felt like we were doing that a lot in the rehearsal processes, and even on the day of shooting, just sort of figuring out how it would come together, and what our take on it would be.
So, Igor, Noah was just referencing it. The song that's really featured in the short is Small Town Boy by Bronski Beat. Love the song. Powerful message in the song. Why did you choose this particular song?
It always resonated, like for like years leading up to actually wanting to film the short. Like I think when I was thinking about when I started the writing process, it was just like the song that sort of grabbed me, both because of its importance. It's a sort of a protest song. It's a survival song. It's a song about endurance, and that's sort of what I kind of wanted to capture with that same spirit. Even though part of the lyrics have been degraded and lost, like the song, or rather the soul of the song survives, and its essence. So that's sort of what I kind of wanted to play around with, like the essence of these old artifacts, these old cultural constructs is still going to survive on some level. They may be recontextualized, but like the feeling that you get from them is still going to survive. And that's why I wanted to use Bronski Beat. It's a Small Town Boy.
And you have a Victrola. They play it on a Victrola. Mm-hmm. The record. Mm-hmm. Where did you find a Victrola?
That was like a prop house.
Okay. Yeah. Gotta love prop houses. So, Noah, your 2020 record, Gemini, came out in May. Laura Stanley from Exclaim magazine praised the album as a comforting embrace. Did that come as a surprise to you?
Well, I don't know. You never really in control about what other people say about your work, but I like that description. I think it's, especially in the context that it was released. I mean, I think in May we were all locked in a little bit and wondering what our world was going to look like into the summer months. Was summer even going to be a thing? So I think that one of the reasons I wanted to continue with the release of the record was that I think a lot of the songs are sort of about this connectivity and connection, love versus isolation and doubt, which I think we were all in the midst of that struggle at that time. So yeah, I like the comforting embrace title. I'll run with that.
Could you see yourself doing an acoustic version, maybe a slower version of Bronski Beat's Small Town Boy?
Yeah, do a cover.
And I hadn't considered it, but yeah, I mean, I feel like,
because you sing it very well in the movie.
Well, thank you very much.
Live off the floor.
On some level, that is the cover.
So, Noah, you are also an actor on Schitt's Creek. Is that correct?
It is.
And how did that come about? How did you get on board that show? When did you come on board that show?
I joined Schitt's Creek in the middle of their third season, and the sixth season just aired earlier this year, and that was the final one. So I was lucky enough to be a part of that show for a few years, and just sort of popped up as any job does. You get an opportunity to audition and take your swing, and thankfully for me there was a connection, and what an incredible show to get to be a part of.
And it's recognized, it's popular pretty much around the globe now.
It's wild. We get messages from people in India, from all over Europe, from South America. I mean, it's certainly it's made its way around for sure. I think a couple of Emmy nominations does that.
Yeah, I would think so. Igor, you are an assistant professor in film production at the University of British Columbia's Theatre and Film Department. How did you get into film and filmmaking in the first place? How did that come about for you?
it's sort of like a long story. I don't know if you have time for it. But it's like the sort of the mythology I've created for myself is that when I was about 7, like every New Year's, they try to show Kubrick's films, and 2001: Space Odyssey is like the film they show right after the clock strikes 12, and I could never finish it. Like I would always like fall asleep somewhere during either the opening ape scene or like somewhere on the moon, and then eventually, I think I was like 9 or 10, just before the war started. I finished the film, and I'm like, "What the hell was that?" And it kind of festered. I think it's sort of like this idea of like, what does that story mean? Why tell it in this way? Because you're used to, as a kid, sort of having these very linear 3-act structures, and that kind of, I think that kind of lingered. And then when the war started, I spent about a year as a refugee traveling around, and we eventually immigrated to Canada.
Where are you talking about?
Oh, sorry, former Yugoslavia. So I was born in Sarajevo, and when I was 9, the war started. So I was in Sarajevo for about a month and a half. I was left with my mom and my brother. My dad stayed, and then we made our way to other parts of former Yugoslavia, Serbia, Croatia, Slovenia, and then eventually we came to Canada. And in Canada, there was always this like gnawing feeling at me that I wanted to tell stories. But this wasn't something that I was necessarily moved to do, because, you know, your parents are always going to telling you, it's like, you're an immigrant, what are you going to do? Like, you're not going to be making movies. This is not like a realistic profession for you, or for people that just arrive. And so I kind of decided to just give it a shot, and not sort of straddle this line of like, you know, trying to do film while also doing, you know, biology or business or something, which is sort of what my parents were really sort of pushing me to do. And so I just sort of applied to film school, sent them some of my stuff, and sort of it just sort of became that. It became like a way of, you know, dealing with this, I guess, latent trauma or whatever it is that I was dealing with in those early films, and then sort of moving in a slightly different direction with some of this newer stuff.
So I understand that some congratulations are in order. Igor, you just had a baby?
Oh, she's gonna be 2 soon. But yeah, she was born right after we finished shooting this film, actually, like 2 months after.
Okay. So this film goes back about a couple years then.
We shot it end of summer 2018. And then like we were in this long post process because of the music and the VFX and stuff. And then I was shooting another feature in the fall 2019, and then the pandemic hit. So yeah, but we're I guess the story kind of has its own sort of a dystopian setup and sort of a pandemic. So like it kind of was eerie that we would be premiering it in the middle of one, but.
Wow.
Yeah, here we are.
Here we are. And well, congrats on your 2-year-old.
Thank you.
Because you were talking before we started recording, and that came up, and Noah, you just recently got married?
I did.
Well, congrats on that.
In July, thanks very much. Yeah, Igor and I haven't seen each other since we shot this movie. He moved to Vancouver, so I was just offering him congratulations on his 2-year-old as well. But I guess my marriage is a little more recent. It will soon be 2 years old. You know, that's how these things work. I guess
that's how time works.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, Igor, what's the plan for you now? You have this that's out now, the Archivists. Are you looking to have it show at various festivals, that sort of thing? Is it going to come out on VOD at some point?
Like, it's going to do its sort of festival run. Mm-hmm. Like, it's starting off in the Canadian festival scene, and then we're waiting to see what's going to happen internationally. Mm-hmm. And then because festivals, especially their short sections, are all moved online anyway, we're not sure when it might be available on VOD, but it will eventually be available on VOD and, like, you know, all of those platforms.
And what's coming up next for you?
I have a film. It's like a love story set in post-war Sarajevo. It's a sort of genre-bending fairy tale about two sort of star-crossed lovers, and the relation. And sort of, it's called The White Fortress, and it's hopefully going to be. We're finishing it and aiming to finish it by November this year. So hopefully sometime next year we'll have a premiere for that as well.
So you've done photography and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Nice. And you just did, I guess, post-production.
Yeah, we're finishing the color and VFX next month. Yep.
And Noah, for yourself, this is what's out now for you, but what else do you have lined up?
A couple of things. I'm sort of working on putting together a new record and trying to figure out a timeline on that and a safe way to go about it, and a couple of little acting projects in the works that I hope will come together. But yeah, I'm just sort of chipping away at my life, you know.
Aren't we all chipping away, just trying to stay alive?
Exactly, man. I'm just, I'm enjoying some married life and some time off. It's been actually a pretty busy year so far, so I'm kind of I'm in neutral right now, and it feels kind of good.
Yeah, I hear you. Igor and Noah, thank you both for being on the show. Thank you for taking your time and chatting with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Mark. It was a pleasure.
So we just heard all about the new Canadian short film, The Archivists, from director Igor and Noah Reid. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention about Schitt's Creek and the show's recent historic wins at the 2020 Emmy Awards. Noah Reid played Franklin on the show for the past 3 seasons, and Schitt's Creek made Emmy history with a complete sweep in the comedy category, walking away with 9 Emmy wins.
Hi, I'm Saida Garrett, co-writer of Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror, and you're listening to Rainbow Country with Mr. Mark Tara.
So usually during the first weekend of the Toronto International Film Festival, there's something known as Festival Street, where a major downtown Toronto street is closed off for a number of blocks, and there's a real festival feel. There's live music, there's red carpets, there are celebrities, and hundreds of people having a good time celebrity watching. In 2019, I chatted with some of those attending Festival Street.
Good evening, everyone. How are you? Whoa! You guys are excited, aren't you?
Hello, Toronto!
This is a very exciting night for us.
I'm really freaking excited to be here tonight.
What a great audience.
I'm so excited to be here. It's such a great honor.
I'm so honored to be able to show my film to this august crowd.
What's really fun is people who love film, and you are all that. And we're very proud and happy to be here with all of you.
We should not be afraid to tell stories because we are afraid that people will judge.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity and a platform to be able to showcase our work as female filmmakers.
This is for my parents who couldn't come, so thank you. I'm going to prove it to them. I did it!
I just realised what TIFF actually stands for. Toronto is fucking fantastic.
This is the story of our city, and we're a very proud city, and I want the world to see it.
Okay, so from the red carpet, so chatting with people who are waiting to see some celebrities, that is what I'm doing right now. I am here with Kaylee on King Street. Kaylee, first of all, you have beautiful hair. What color is your hair?
It's like a vibrant Barbie pink, I would say.
I love it. You're here waiting for some celebrity sightings. Who are you excited to see?
I'm mostly excited here to see Chris Evans, but as well as Jamie Lee Curtis and Daniel Craig are also going to be here, which I'm excited for, but mostly Chris Evans.
Okay, this is my second year covering TIFF. How many times have you been here?
This is my first time ever. Like my first day, first year.
And what prompted you to come out?
Well, I've been like obsessed with Marvel movies for so long, and now that I've like seen that a lot of them are coming to this festival, I thought it would be fun to like check it out. I didn't get any like tickets to see any movies, but it's still a fun time.
Well, thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I came over because you have a head full of fantastic hair. Love it.
I love it too. Bigger the better.
I know. The closer to God.
That's right. That's right.
What brings you to TIFF 2019?
Actually, I just met this young lady. I was telling her that probably about 4 or 5 years ago, I started to bring my daughter because she was in love with Johnny Depp, and it becomes addictive. So every year we just scout through, see what movies and see what people she primarily wants to see, and find our way down during that time. It's just a good time to spend together.
How many years? This is my second year coming to TIFF. How many years have you been coming to TIFF?
I think since probably 2015. So lived in Toronto most of my life, had never come to TIFF. And as I said, I just come with my daughter now because of the first year Johnny Depp was here, and it was kind of, she loves him. And it was like, okay, well, let's go see what happens. And literally just became addictive.
And so who are you excited to see at TIFF, maybe even today?
Well, yesterday, we got our big person already. So yesterday it was Michael Jordan. So she got him. That was great. We were actually going to go get something to eat and wait for the Hustlers premiere. And then she realized that Chris Evans was here. So we're waiting for Chris Evans. And then we're going to make our way over to the line so that we can hopefully see Lizzo and hopefully see J-Lo. And that's the plan.
From your lips to God's ears, good luck with that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for your time.
No problem. My pleasure.
So I am here with Christopher on King Street. Christopher, hi.
Hi, how you doing, Mark?
I'm good. So what are you here waiting in line to do?
So we're here at TIFF. We're like the TIFFer phenomenon in the fan zone. We're here to get Daniel Craig's autograph and Chris Evans' autograph and photos. There are people here from the States, from Japan, from Mexico, from everywhere, and they're here to get one or the other, right? Or both, if they're lucky, right? So we're lucky it's not raining, the sun's out, the street is open, so hopefully good luck will come to us.
This is my second year covering TIFF. How many times have you been here waiting for celebrity sightings?
Check this out. I've done it for like 8 years, but there's some people who've been doing this for like 30 and 40 years. TIFF is in its like 44th, 5th, 6th year now, so, or 41st or 2nd, something like that. 44th. There you go. So I know a guy with like 50,000 autographs. He gets 300 every year from the list of 400 actors, so I'm just trying to keep up with him. Last year I got 88, so I'm trying to beat my own record, really. There's like an underground autograph craze going off here that people don't know about, and watch out for the documentary coming on maybe by next year at Hot Docs called The Autograph Hounds, if Disney doesn't sue me first.
So you know of CIUT?
Yeah, I used to listen to The Prophecy all the time, 89.5. They changed the nights every few times, but James Brown, Marcus Visionary, they've been holding it down and running things in that building for a long time, and I love to listen to their show. And other shows, too.
Well, thanks so much for your time.
No worries, Mark. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. How are you? Whoa! You guys are excited, aren't you?
Hello, Toronto!
This is a very exciting night for us.
I'm really freaking excited to be here tonight.
What a great audience.
I'm so excited to be here. It's such a great honor.
I'm so honored to be able to show my film to this august crowd.
What's really fun is people who love film, and you are all that. And we're very proud and happy to be here with all of you.
We should not be afraid to tell stories because we are afraid that people will judge.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity and a platform to be able to showcase our work as female filmmakers.
This is for my parents who couldn't come, so thank you. I'm going to prove it to them. I did it!
I just realised what TIFF actually stands for. Toronto is fucking fantastic.
This is the story of our city, and we're a very proud city, and I want the world to see it.
Taking us to hour 2 of Rainbow Country, the song at the heart of the new Canadian short film, The Archivists. Small Town Boy, Bronski Beat.
You leave in the morning with everything you want in a little black case. Alone on a platform, the wind and the rain on a sad and lonely face. Mother will never understand why you had to leave, but the answers you seek will never be found at home. The love that you need will never be found at pushed around and kicked around, always a lonely boy. You were the one that they talk about around town as they put you down. And as hard as they would try, they had to make you cry. But you never cried to them, just to your soul. No, you never cried to them, just to your soul. Crying to your soul, crying to your soul. Run away, turn away. Cry to your soul. Cry to your soul. To your soul, to your
Hi, my name is Joanne Vanicola, and I'm an actor and a writer, and I was first on Rainbow Country with Mark Tara on discussing the massacre at Pulse Club in Orlando. I realized how important it was for our community to have a radio station, specifically for our issues, to talk about people in the LGBTQ community and to provide an outlet for our stories, to discuss our politics, culture, and give voice to the issues that matter to us. And of course, our artists and the things that we do globally, and talk about culture. And without people like Mark Tara providing a space for this with a radio show like this, then we wouldn't have that voice. So, support, tune in. Thank you.
Hi, this is Police Constable Danielle Botno, also known as LGBT Cop, and you're listening to Rainbow Country with Mark Tara.
This is Hour 2 of Rainbow Country, where I feature music from LGBT recording artists, independent recording artists, plus voices that you know and love in classic disco, classic 80s, classic house. So if you stay with me, if you stick with me, I hope you think I'm bringing you music worth hearing. Starting us off, a 3-song house set.
Jack your body, jack your body, deck your body, deck your body, deck your body, deck your body. Jack it up out there. Jack it up out there.
We just heard Deep in Vogue, Malcolm McLaren. Before that, Jack Your Body, Steve Silk-Hurley. And starting off that 3-song house set, The Bomb, Bucketheads. Up next, a 3-song Dead or Alive set.
Take it right down, take it right down, right down. Take it right down, take it right down, right down. wishing you would telephone me. Oh, I just can't lose this desperation. Won't you bring around a new sensation? Baby, you got lots of energy, yeah. Come and give that energy to me, yeah. Say we could have a real good time, yeah. Baby, I can make you mine, oh mine, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Lover, come back to me. You don't have to knock on my door, no. Lover, come back to me. Kick it right down, kick it right down, kick it right down, right down. Baby, all I feel is desperation, and it's not a very nice sensation. I've been wishing you would telephone me. I've been lying here oh so lonely. Baby, we could have a real good time, yeah. Yeah, I could make you mine, oh mine, yeah. Baby, you got lots of energy, yeah. Baby, give that energy to me, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Lover, come back to me. You don't have to knock on my door, no. Lover, come back
heard You Spin Me Round Like a Record. Before that, Lover, Come Back to Me. And starting off that 3-song Dead or Alive set, Brand New Lover. Lead singer Pete Burns passed away in London following a sudden heart attack in October 2016. He was 57. Up next, a 3-song alternative set.
He sits in the corner alone, desperately wanting a text on his phone. He wants to lose himself in me, wants to lose his self-esteem, lifting weights and grooming his hair, pasturing every diligent mare. She's not good enough for me, the stallion cries, but what's good enough for me must remain lies. He gave into his heart. He fell onto his knees. Boy was calling me every damn day, begging, please, every pulse, every wish in his head tells him that he wants to be dominated. What society tells him he should do lies complacent next to thoughts of being used. What society tells him he should be is distracted by thoughts of me. He needed inside him. He needed to feel weak, though his actions lead him far away. He needs me. He needs me. He's living the American dream, sitting by the computer screen. He can search the web for anything he needs, but he's using magazines full of girlies like me, using magazines nation of floods. Was your touch so strange? Did you know my name? In your hands and now in your brain. Unearthing the game. Through my fingers I spied a spark. Saw that tiniest spark had lit up the dark. Can we hit the mark? Embellishing, embroidering, no longer stark. Gifting your touches, their brushes, my skin. Lightly begins, gifting a kiss, then touches again. Elevating, feeling a river of heat from within. Boiling and bubbling and bursting ice cream. And we sailors knots from head to ground. I've enveloped you, I surround. Mutually we side alone.
We just heard A River Within. Before that, Circle plus Star. And starting off that 3-song alternative set, American Stallion. That 3-song alternative set featured American trans artist Rye Daisies, and her current single is A River Within featuring Robbie Rosen. For all things Daisies, RyeDaisies.com. Up next, a 3-song indie set.
People say that I talk like Ellen Page. I guess that makes sense since we come from the same place. But it's more than just a regional thing. Cause if it's 50% maritime, it's 50% lesbian. We're on the same page. The Ellen Page, the Ellen Page. We're on the same page. The Ellen Page, the Ellen Page, the Ellen Page. People say that I look like Ellen Page. They say it's my face or maybe something they can't place. I hate to say it, but I think they're mistaken. Cause we're far from spitting images, we're just two gay Canadians.
sport, but somehow there I was, and the ball was in my court before I could figure out if it was real or just a dream. I scored my only basket of the season. It was on my own team. Girl, you made me wanna play it out of you. Can't explain all of the things that you make me feel. I wanna join your team, and I'm for real. There's not a thing I want no more to hang out with you, because girl, you make me wanna play it out of you. Can't explain all of the things that you make me feel. I wanna join your team, and I'm for real. There's not a thing I want no more to hang out with you. Sometimes I feel just like a creature in the sun. Kinda like a dog, but a lucky one. When I'm old and when I know I've had my fun, I hope I feel just like a creature in the sun. Sometimes I feel just like a creature in the sun. Kinda like a dog, but a lucky one. And I hope when everything is said and done, that we all end up as creatures in the sun.
We just heard Creature in the Sun. Before that, Play the Field. And starting off that 3-song indie set, The Ellen Page. A 3-song indie set featuring Canadian duo Partner. And those tracks are off of their current record, In Search of Lost Time. For all things Partner, partnerband.com. Up next, a singer-songwriter set.
Kings move, kings, knights move, knights, while a queen needs more than a heart. A joker with a spade would bury his diamonds, but a pawn could change the game. In the night I hear the sea sleeping next to me. The sound of the waves crash through my dreams of you, of you. Kings move, kings, knights move, knights, while a queen needs more than a heart. A joker with a spade would bury his diamonds, but a pawn could change the game. In the night I feel you here, sleeping next to me. The sound of your breath reminds reminds me of a time when you and I were worth the pain, worth the strain of falling in love every day just to stay dissatisfied. And I need you to remind me so I'm not swept away, away. Kings move, kings, knights move, knights, while a queen needs more than a heart. A joker with a spade would bury his diamonds, but a pawn could change the game. Kings move, kings, knights move, knights, while you need more than my heart to help your beating chest to rest. This lion heart, this lion heart. Snowfall in April brings me to tears. Winter's deception becomes so clear. Nothing can last through the night, 'cause snowfall in April will meet morning light. I can't bear to see you this way. Won't you take me away? I can't bear to see you this way. Won't you take me away? Poolside in the summer sun, you were there. Straw hat in your hair. Round the table, you were there. Always in your chair. Laughing at all our prayers, 'cause you knew our cares were misguided, and that love is all that matters in the end. And I'll never forget when you said, I can't bear to see you this way. Won't you take me away? I can't bear to see you this way. Won't you take me away? Snowfall in April brings me to tears. Winter's deception becomes so clear. Nothing can last through the night, 'cause snowfall in April will meet morning light. Step into my view, take my attention from a man I once knew, a man I once loved. disarm me with nothing but a smile, nothing but the curve of your lips as your eyes linger on me. And I feel there's more to your touch when there's only your hand reaching to greet me. I know what you want, know what this could become. I've never wanted anything as much as you now. Your body like a reckoning, rushing like a fire. We'll break it down and piece it back together every time. The sounds of you will drown out every worry in the night. Your breath skips as my hands meet the forest of your chest. No thoughts of tomorrow as we fall into the rest, into the rest. Bring the night our way, there's nothing more under the light of this day. The light it can't stay, disarm me with nothing but your heart on my chest. Beat to beat as your eyes linger on me. And I feel there's more to your touch when there's only your hand reaching to greet me. I know what you want, know what this could become. I've never wanted anything as much as you now. Your body like a reckoning, rushing like a fire. We'll break it down and piece it back together every time. The sounds of you will drown out every worry in the night. Your breath skips as my hands meet the forest of your chest. No thoughts of tomorrow as we fall into the rest, into the rest. Like two rivers crashing into one, lips to lips, skin to skin, touch to touch. I can feel nothing else, just you, just you. There's more to this than ever before. I'm certain of a love unsure. There's more to this than ever before. I'm certain of a love unsure. I've never wanted anything as much as you now. Your body like a reckoning, rushing like a fire. We'll break it down and piece it back together every time. The sounds of you will drown out every worry in the night. Your breath skips as my hands meet the forest of your chest. No thoughts of tomorrow as we fall into.
We just heard Two Rivers, Snowfall in April, Kings, a 3-song singer-songwriter set from the EP Live at the Music Room from Richard Martin and his group Songs for the Tide. You can find Richard Martin, his group Songs for the Tide, and the EP Live at the Music Room on Spotify. To keep up to date with all things country, Rainbow Country, follow me on socials at Mark Tara Music. Do you have a guest suggestion, maybe a show idea? Send me an email, mark@marktara.com. The podcast for Rainbow Country is available on all major platforms. The official Rainbow Country playlist is out on Spotify, and everything is hooked up at marktara.com. Finally, I want to take this time to thank you for taking your time to be with me. Remember, stay well, stay strong, stay safe.
Hi, this is Emily Saliers from Indigo Girls, and you're listening to Rainbow Country.